Hello everybody, my name is Ratnos and welcome to This Week in Mythic Plus. This week's affixes are Fortified, Spiteful, Necrotic, and of course, Shrouded. It is the final week of the season as well, at least for the purposes of the title Shrouded Hero. For Keystone Master mount and that kind of stuff, I think they've extended that up until Dragonflight launch. You can get, I think, but if you're looking for the top 1% title or top 0.1% title, Shrouded Hero, or perhaps like score as well to show up as under the season, like on the leaderboards, that kind of thing. This is probably your last week to do it, and it's not a particularly good week. Spiteful, Necrotic, Fortified, extremely nasty combination of affixes for melee players and for tanks. It's actually a pretty chill week for everybody else. If your tank is surviving, a lot of the pressure is on the tank this week. If you're playing a Blood Death Knight, you have a lot of tools at your disposal. You should be playing Kyrian. You get the Kyrian file, and you should also, if you're playing Dwarf, you also have Stoneform, which is big against that as well. If you're playing just a regular non-tank, if you're playing a DPS player, it'll depend a little bit on how many melee are in your group, how you should be using things. If you're a melee-heavy group, you may want to save AoE stuns and stuff for as the Spitefuls start spawning, to try and keep them from hitting your melee and let your melee stay in and keep landing the kicks and stops on packs as they start dying. If you're playing without melee, you probably want to send your AoE stuns a little bit earlier to try and help your tank not die to Necrotic, create a little bit of distance from the pack as it's dying. Effects like Binding Shot, AoE slows, Death and Decay slow, Typhoon, Ursula's Vortex, Shining Force, anything like that should be used against Spiteful and Necrotic to try and stop either your tank from dying or your melee DPS players from dying. If you're playing in a group that has no melee DPS, then yeah, this week will be a lot easier for you as well. In terms of specific dungeons, few dungeons that are kind of nasty. The Grimrail Depot, for a few reasons, is one that's kind of rough. Obviously, Spiteful spawning off of these packs is very messed up. Very little space to flee if you're a melee player, so be thinking ahead and be saving, effects that will help you with that for when those Spiteful are spawning. Also worth noting that there are a few of these older dungeons where some mobs that wouldn't, if this dungeon were designed today, Grimrail loaders wouldn't spawn Spiteful, but they do. Similarly in Upper Karazhan, if that dungeon were designed today, Mana Gorged Worms wouldn't spawn Spiteful, but they do. So be on the lookout for those. Be on the lookout for, 6 Spitefuls. Anywhere where last week you got a lot of stacks of bursting, you are going to deal with a lot of Spiteful shades this week, so do be ready for that. That being said, it is a Fortified week, so a lot of these dungeons are a lot easier on Fortified because a lot of them are kind of boss-centric, so it can still be a good week to collect your score depending on what you're going for. I'm going to be trying to get like 100 points a score this week to try and get up to the Shrouded Hero cutoff, so feel free to come check out my stream, see how that's going. If you're interested in some routes, there are some down in the description below at the Raider.io, the weekly route, which should work fairly well for you if you are trying to pug up some score this week as well. Although, of course, feel free to make any changes for any cool advanced strats that you know. That is going to be it, though, for this video. Hope you enjoyed this. Good luck out there in your keys this week. Not sure if I'll be doing This Week at M Plus during the pre-patch, so this series may go on a hiatus until Dragonflight, or maybe I'll be back next week. But either way, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.